Hello everybody and welcome back to AlexElliottGolf, and welcome to the channel if you're a brand new viewer. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button down below. Today we're on the 4th hole here in Tenerife at Costa Adeje Golf Club. As you can see, pretty nice view down there. So what I want to talk about today is my #1 rule if you're going to try and shallow this golf club. And this is a big topic in golf at the minute. Everything we see on social media, on the internet, is all about how we can get into this shallower position. So the shaft feeling like it moves in this direction on the downswing, not steepening in this direction. So what is my #1 rule? Well, if we're going to be somebody that wants to shallow this golf club, we've got to understand something. Now, the best way I can describe you to this is if I was going to do a baseball swing, because this would be a lot flatter, a lot shallower playing than if we were making a golf swing. So if I'm going to show you this here now, if I was to make a baseball swing, so round the corner and come back to baseball, look how this shaft is shallow and flat, but look how my face is. It is pointing to the right. So we take this down to the golf ball, we can see this face will be pointing to the right of target. So if you're somebody that would be going from a slicer's position, so with an out to in path, and then has started to learn to swing a little bit more from the inside, we might actually start missing this ball even further to the right. The ball might start to the right and even move even further. So almost giving us that version of a push slice. So this leads me on to the nice simple thought of my #1 rule. We've got to understand that if we're going to shallow the shaft, we've got to strengthen the face. So I'm going to remind you of this scenario again. We're going to swing this around our body and come back to this position. So you can see here now the baseball style that my face is pointing to the right. So watch this now. If I strengthen the face, look how my face is now square. Put it down to the golf ball, my face is pointing now down towards target. So you can see here, we need to have an understanding of what this wrist is feeling like it's going to do in the downswing to help us strengthen this face. And I always think of it as a marriage of a relationship. If we're going to shallow the shaft, we've got to strengthen the face. Otherwise, we could get ourselves into a little bit of a sticky situation. So what would be the feeling to do this? How would I do this in terms of not feeling like it's going to be overcomplicated? So I'd make my normal backswing to the top. Now, in transition, instead of feeling like we're just going to shallow the shaft in this direction or however we try and do it, I want you to add in the feeling of we're going to feel the knuckles are going to point towards the ground. And this will be really over exaggerated to begin with, but we'll soon start to see those little draw shots for sure. So if I show you this again, my feeling I want you to do is swing it to the top, strengthen that face. So if we bring this position down to last parallel here with the golf shaft, we've got a flat wrist, we've not got a cupped wrist, and we've almost got that feeling of this logo pointing towards the ground, because this gives me a good sense of what this face is doing. We're in a position where we've got a strong face, but a square face. So we come into the golf ball now, we've got a nice flat wrist that has performed a motion that looks a little bit like this. And this is how we actually achieve a little bit nicer forward shaft lean, but also keep that square face, because a lot of the time we shallow the shaft, strengthen the face, and we get forward shaft lean. That is how we actually get a nice square club face impact. If we shallow the shaft, get forward shaft lean, but we don't strengthen the face, look how this face wants to point to the right to target. We now strengthen it. Have a look what happens to it now. It goes to a nice square position. So if I jump over the golf ball now, and this is exactly how I'd learn it. I would swing to the top, swing down, feeling like I'm really feeling my logo is pointing to the ground really excessively. Swing up again, clip this ball away. And we'll start to learn to move the body a little bit more athletically because we have to be a lot more dynamic, because if we don't, we're going to miss it a little bit off to the left, but also we're going to stop missing that ball off to the right. So here we go. So we're going to swing to the top, strengthen the face, feeling that logo is pointing down towards the ground. We're going to hold it off on the way through. So we're really learning to shallow the shaft but strengthen the face. You've already got that shallowing move. This is the last missing piece of the puzzle. To the top, strengthen it, waggle up, hit it away. So really get a sense of feeling the body's moving better, but ultimately we've got a position which the club face is marrying up to our shallowing of the shaft. Because like I said before, if we don't, we just add this forward shaft lean in like this, and we don't strengthen the face. Look how it points to the right. We strengthen the face, we get it more pointing down towards target. We add in the fact that this club might be travelling a little bit more into out, then we're going to get ourselves into a situation, we've got an into-out path, the face that's open. We're going to start missing this ball even further to the right. So today's a really nice simple lesson. If I come close to the camera now, the feeling I want you to have is that we get a situation where the wrist is feeling like it's moving in this direction, and we've got almost a bowed feeling And I stress that there will be a feeling in the golf swing to move into impact, as opposed to it being a little bit cupped and travelling into out, because that's going to require us to feel like we flip this golf club to try and square it, or we're going to miss this ball off to the right of target. Really nice simple lesson today. My number one rule, if you're going to shower that golf club, you've got to strengthen the face. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time on Alex Elliott Golf.